All right, you guys can hang out and see what I'm seeing. But I have a blade on here that we have worn it down, and it needs to be replaced. So it served its purpose well. It's always fun sometimes fishing this out of here. I think the newer models, it's a little easier. But yeah. So this is just a Turbo 7 silver tip here. I'm getting ready to cut up this maple. This is a dog leg on that one. And if you guys see another short, this tree has a lot of color in the heartwood. So what I'm gonna do is take this end, I'm gonna cut up to about where it's kind of right here, where it's curved, right here. And I'm gonna make cookies out of that. And then get me a nice little section there. Let's see, let me find my tape. Oh, there's a sawmill tape sitting up here. Let's see what we would be. And there's a nice little knot there. That's gonna have a lot of character and a lot of figure in it. So 8 foot would be about right here. So let me grab a piece of bark or something and put on it, kind of like that. And that'll leave me plenty for cookies. But I guarantee you when we get cutting in there, it's gonna be some pretty stuff. It'll be like a little bit of a burl type effect. Then it still leaves us almost 29 inches of cookies. I don't need that as many big ones, but I'm gonna make a lot of cookies out of that one. There's a straight section there. Same thing here as a jog there. So, yeah. So I got you on the head cam this morning to start off. Some of you guys have made comments about the film not being the best quality in HD and all that stuff. And well, you know, I always want the films to be really nice, of course the videos, who doesn't? But the wallet doesn't always tell me I can do that. Between buying products to do reviews for and have around the farm and pay for video equipment and all my medical stuff, the budget is thin. So but since the channel's growing and a little bit of income's coming in, I figured I would go ahead and splurge. I like the GoPro 10. It seems to be the best. I tried a GoPro 11 and didn't like it. And this one will do the HD, which is good quality, about as quality as you're going to get. So I have this one that you guys are watching on now. And then I just ordered another Pro Pack with the GoPro 10. And a bunch of battery packs, because we are going to the Paul Bunyan show and I'll be doing a lot of videoing up there. So I figured, I guess the time was now to get a nicer setup. Let's see if we can get this pump cranked up. I worked on this little valve the other day, and see now I'm out further and I can get it tight. So yeah, I think the newer models are different now. Of course, this is a 1992. I kept saying it was older. Then when we looked it up and I was speaking with a guy, and the biggest thing was that the this right here is different than the older ones, and he had an older one. He says, well, it can't be that, it has to be newer. And then we looked up the model number and discovered it was newer. We got it used, so you know, it's been a while. It's been a day or two. So let's go ahead and turn this over just a little bit, make sure she's tracking good. Let's see. I don't really want it to start. I just want to make sure it's all tracking in the guides right. It's back where it belongs. It's on the tire as well. Yeah, just where I want it. I did replace this bearing earlier in the year, and last year I replaced that whole hub. So, and then we replaced the motor. The motor was replaced about a year and a half, 2 years ago. So the mill has seen a lot of hours on it and has been well used. So yep, that's how much stuff we've had to do to it. Basically almost built a new mill, and some people would say, oh, you practically rebuilt the mill. Well, I hate to tell you, all that steel and all that is worth a lot of money too. Motor was pretty pricey. The bearing hub assembly over there was like $700 or $800. This wasn't bad. It was like $150 for that idle bearing and the seal. So it's what we have to do to keep the mill up running, to keep the oil changed in it, keep it greased up real good. Oh, and I replaced those idle guides too. But if you want to put out quality stuff, you gotta fix your equipment. This one, I gotta get some oil on. That one's a little stiff. I gotta go grab the WD-40, put on there. So when you use water a lot, that stuff gets in there. Hopefully the head cam, you guys can kind of see what's going on. It's always hard to say because I see what you're seeing because, well, I can't see the front screen on my head. So we got fuel. Yep, I just filled that up. All right, we're going with a 9 degrees, and it's a resharp. So we use Jerry's resharp. I guess I should close the door in the car. There's no reason to leave that hanging wide open. Is there a reason you're open? Nope, no reason. So I'm gonna put you guys over on the pole here in a minute. Let's flip this up and get the length cut, and I'll have to reposition it on the tractor. And I probably won't do the cookies right now. Yeah, probably won't do the cookies today on this video. We'll do them in another video because I want to do cookies out of that. This maple, I have some hickory I want to do it, and I got to finish cutting up that spalted beech nut there. So we'll do all those cookies on another day. And I'm thinking about making some locust cookies there. I got a bunch of walnut over there. So I have quite a few cookies to cut, and they won't be ready this year, of course. But you got to plan way ahead. That thing may drop. Let's see here. Let me see if I can use the cheater bar and kind of shove that log a little teeny bit over towards where I'm cutting, and that way, see, I'll lower the tractor down. It's always a little something, something. But yeah, it'll be nice having 2 GoPro 10s, and they're good quality. They do 4K, so, or at least 1080, which is plenty, because you're not going to get much more than that off of YouTube. Come on, log, work with me, brother. This is stuck. It don't want to slide. It's like when I go to carry these logs, they want to slide off the forks and everything, and then when I go to slide them, they don't want to slide. It's like, which way do you want to have it now? Biggest thing is I don't want to tear that out when I'm cutting it. So there's our first log, and I'm gonna have to cut that up because I cannot lift that on the mill to make cookies. And well, anyways, it'd be too tall. I've learned not to have them that tall when I put them on the mill. Now, of course, this is bigger around, so it would be pretty stable. And I think we'll take the same cut off this shorter one here, and we know it's the same length. I've been really happy with this. If you're cutting smaller stuff, it's pretty good. The thing I did learn is this is a DeWalt battery. You guys see on that short, the other batteries died on me, and they were those aftermarket brand, and now I'm feeling like I should have gone ahead and got another nicer one. That's only a 12 amp hour. This one here, and see, this would probably cut it. It doesn't drain the battery as bad. This is a 9 amp hour too, so yeah, that's a 12 amp hour. I'd like to find a 15, but I didn't see one available. So let's see, we got to move this over, but look at that heart color. Oh my goodness. This is gonna be, yeah, this is gonna be exciting. Let's see if I can gently take the tractor over here without it falling off one side and get it on the mill. I gotta have my water with me today. I got the sneezy sniffles, so I'll get to coughing, and you guys won't, you drive me crazy if I get coughing. So let's see if we can cheat it without it falling off over to the mill. What's gonna happen is these are gonna hit my... All right, hopefully I positioned the camera a little bit better. I went back and reviewed it. It looked like I missed out on a few things, but of course I'm not seeing a full screen either. So you guys gotta bear with me as I learn how to get the best views. When you're by yourself, you don't have anybody videoing, and well, you can't see the camera to adjust on the fly. And once you cut it and you did it, you can't go back and redo it. So what'll be nice is having the second camera. If I have it mounted in spots and move it around, it's a backup view that I know I'm getting, so that I can switch to that view, which you guys often see creators do. Now there is a strong possibility now that this log will act not friendly, and I'll tell you why in a second. Let's get that to spin around there. I got to get it to roll it a little more without slamming it down too hard. There we go, we did it. So when it's curved like that, it's going to hit here, and sometimes it won't hit out there. But there's that knot I was telling you about. You're about to see what you get from that. Yeah, I think I'm just going to do this whole video off the head cam. I'll do the whole video using the head cam. I'll try to kind of move you guys around as where I think you can see everything. We'll do it as an experiment, and then you guys can let me know if you found it to work pretty decent. I like trying different things with the video, and it's always fun. You saw the chainsaw video I did. That's the first time I put stuff simultaneously in a video series like that. I've done similar stuff, but not like that. So it's a learning curve. Some of you have asked what brand editing I use. It's called Fillmore through Wondershare. So it's Fillmore, and then Wondershare is the name of it. And I can put my glasses on like this too, and not have this in the way. The chest cam I can't, because then my glasses come down and hit it. So this I'm going to be kind of picky about. I want to get, even if it's some small skinny boards, and I've got to look at my overall picture too when I'm done. But I really want to see what's going on up there. So let's take a skim cut of it. Turn the water off. There we go. In there. I know it's just a skinny cut, but what you guys, of course you can't read my mind, is what I'm, cut the water off. I always go through so much water. Is if this has figure in it, see right there? I do a lot of bowl turning. If I let this dry, then my bowl comes out of here and all that figure is in the bowl. And then this would be the bottom side here. So, you know, when I'm looking at cutting stuff, I'm probably looking at it in a different way than most people, because I build so much stuff and use a lot of the lumber from my own projects. I have a different view of how I want to cut the wood. So let's see, we're at 11 and a half. I'm going to take another 1 1/4 off of it. That'll get me down to a little wider boards, and then I'll be able to start my 2 inch 2 1/4. I'll have to measure. Let's see what's underneath there. Oh yeah, pretty stuff. Now this right here is where a branch had broke off many years ago. So that's why you're seeing this is where a branch came out, and then there's some bark in there because the branch came out on an angle, and this is part of the exterior of the tree at that point in time when it broke off. It's a little soft in there because it rotted. For whatever reason, the branch either broke in a storm or started dying and it broke off. So now, let's see, where are we at on this? We're 11 1/4, but trying to see what I can do past the pith. So if I go 1 1/4, that'll leave me 4 1/8. So that's good, because that'll leave me with two 2-inch thick boards, and then I'll start my 1 inch on each side of the pith, and then we'll figure out what's left after that. So it's like dissecting something. You're just dissecting the wood and see what you can get out of it, you know. Now if I was cutting this up for 2x4s or, you know, dimensional lumber, I would have worried about the pith. I would have gone through all kinds of different things to, let me get my head right, stop talking for a second. I see that'll be 2 inches. So yeah, I think 2 inches is more than plenty for a bench. Look at that. Let's start the tractor up. Like I said, I hope this view kind of works for you. I just wanted to do something a little different, bring in a little more of the action. So basically, you guys, it's like you're sitting here cutting this and doing this. So you guys will have to let me know if you like the videos using the head cam like this. Let's get this one out of the way. Pretty much you're seeing everything I'm doing. So this board won't be a lot. That will do a little something with. Look at this board. It's just this log is just laying so pretty flat. And that's what I worried about. See, with this dog leg in it, that's a lot of tension. You got tension here and compression here, and then with the arch, you know. So what a lot of times will happen is you'll get, this will want to check right here because it's bowed. But if you cut it thicker like this, like I say, this one doesn't have a lot of color. If I flipped it over, it will. But what I'm looking for is, you see how this is curved? The benches I like to not have that extreme of a curve. They like the live edge, but this is good back here. This is good here. So it has the edges, but they're not like extreme. So what I'll do is, on that one, I'll go along with a jigsaw and take off part of that edge and sand it, you know. He's on here. Ugh. Let me flip this one over. I just want to see the other side. Oh yeah, look at that. Yeah, water makes everything sticky on the logs, but since these have a lot of sap in them, because I just cut it down, if you don't run the water, you just burn the blade up, and then you start having your up and downs and all that stuff. But look at that beautiful knot. This one's really colorful on the other side. So I do the benches two different ways. Some I put up like this, where the live edge is down. People like that. So when I get extreme edges like this one I would turn over, especially because look, all the color is on this side. So I would put the bench this way, and maybe, and of course the bark gets removed. And sometimes I may go along, I say with a jigsaw, I'll take my finger and a pencil so it follows that contour, and I'll cut that off just as like a little flat edge. So my goodness, look at that beautiful stuff. So yeah, look at that. And I tell you, maple is, and not all our maple. You guys seen me one I cut up. It hardly got any views because it was so boring of a maple. It just didn't have any color in it. When you put a Danish wool on this, every bit of that color just accentuates like crazy. Absolutely beautiful. And I have a lot of maple. I got a bunch of it for sale. If you're near the Virginia area, we're in 301 in King George County, hit me up, because you know, I get in excess. This tree was damaged and was falling, and I have a lot of maple like this. And I mean, I don't mind selling it green like this for, you know, say $1.50 a board foot, because you got to sticker it, dry it, and finish it. And there's always a percentage of waste when you do any of this stuff. And I realize that. I just don't want it to go to waste, and I build with what I can out of it. So back to, see, I'm about 1 inch from that pith. I don't like hide stuff from me. So now, yeah, right at 1.25 inches. So I will do 2 1.25 inch boards, and that'll get us through the pith, and then we'll start with another nice board. And that's just kind of how I do it. And what that does, it allows me to take those 1 1/4 inch boards. If I have to rip them down when I build my tables, the tables, I have a underside made of 1x, and I usually frame that in and use the Craig's jig to glue it and screw it from the inside, and then my legs sit inside that. So it's a good way to use some of this material up. So I gotta remember where I was. I think it was 6 1/4. So 5. I get talking to you guys and forget where I'm at. So a lot of times I can use this material up if I straight line it and just cut the pith out of it, and I can make it live edge if I want to. All right, now let's take a peek and see what we got. What our goodies are. Put this back in the build a little bit. Like, I wish it kind of made the building another couple feet wider, but hey, you know, forethought, you don't always think of that. We don't usually do that many boards. So these are my two. That ended up being a 1 inch. I couldn't do a 1 1/4. What I should have done was done the first board instead of 1 1/4. I should have done it 1 inch and then the other one. So basically I ended up with 2 inches left, but look what happened. You don't know, because like I say, the pith can change in the log. So what happens is it could be at one end at one height and another end the other height. So we got some of the pith in here, but we also have a 2 inch thick board. I can't get it up there, and that pith only goes down maybe a 1/2 inch. So if I'm lucky, that really won't affect it. And if I go to plane it, when I go to plane it, some of that will come out. You know, a lot of times these things will cup a little bit, and you end up taking them back to the mill anyways and resurfacing them after they're dry. So if I end up with a 1.5 inch board, you know, when it's done for a bench, that's plenty. If I can get this end to lift up on the board, I can do that. Push that over. When you're by yourself, you got to be you got to do things in a way that work for you. But look at the beautiful heart of that. I'm not going to put water on it. I know people like me to do that. But really, I don't want to add more water to my boards than I have to. I'll do it every once in a while. But I think this wood's green enough that you guys can see what you want to see. The color in that. Tripping over stuff. I got my ankles just healing. I tripped over that cant hook the other day, I gotta stop leaving it laying like that. Lunge forward, hit the stupid forks on the tractor, all in the same 2 seconds. So my shin was in a lot of pain at my ankle. So, and I still do it. I still leave it like that. Look at that. I still leave it like that, but I leave it down because I don't want the sawmill to hit it when I come back. So, it's just one of them things. Hazards, you gotta look out for them. But look at that beautiful stuff. This is what I do. Just look at it. Just look at it. What's that meme? Just look at it. Just look at it. Beautiful stuff. So I need to get that cut up because I got a whole bunch of poplar over there and it rained, and if I don't get it on stickers, then it's going to get moldy, and that's all rainbow heart kind of material. So I've got a whole bunch of poplar we had planned for a project and we didn't use it. They're all 1x8, 1x6. So I'm going to put that on the mill and make me a ton of stickers. I don't mind using the poplar because it's a lighter in color, because you don't want to use darker stickers than the material. So in my case, I can just use the poplar for most anything, and it works out fine. And I got all this stuff just to show you guys. I got it all kind of in a bad way. Trying not to get my hands in there, but I got to get it back organized the way it belongs, and so I can go set it somewhere. That's the problem, is I get cutting and I don't keep my sticker stock made, and next thing you know, it gets laying around. You get busy, and well, you can end up with mold and stuff in your material. So that one should have gone before the other one, but that'll be a good one to start with. Around the tractor we go. That'll be a good one to start the base with because it's the widest, and I'll just move that other one when I'm stickering it out of the way. But like I said, I got a ton of maple, and if you're looking for maple and you can see the color and you're here near here, or you want to make a trip out to the farm and buy some lumber, which would be a blessing for me if you need it. Sales have been way down. I haven't really pushed it, but I have so much maple. I just have so much maple because the trees I just had, they've either died or blown. Like this one got blown over in a storm, so, or got broke up in a storm, so it was a nightmare getting it down. But I don't know, you tell me, you think it was worth all the effort to get that tree down? This is only like one little teeny log of the tree. That tree made so many logs, I was thoroughly impressed. But beautiful cookies coming up, and I gotta cut that down some because I won't be able to get it on the mill. Sometimes I put a pallet on the forks, then I can roll those on the pallet, and you know, then I can lift the pallet up and roll the log on the bench. So all right, that's it. Another beautiful maple cut up.